Hello students, today we will study about the role of the public prosecutor, the role of the judge and fair trial. So, who is a public prosecutor? He represents the interests of the state and conducts the prosecution on behalf of the state. He is not involved in investigating or investigation that is conducted by the police. So, the lawyers who represent the state and conduct criminal cases against the defendants are known as public prosecutors. The role of the prosecutor begins once the police has filed the charge sheet in the court. The prosecutor must conduct the prosecution on behalf of the police investigation. He has no role to play in the investigation. It is, as an officer of the court, it is the duty of the public prosecutor to act impartially and present the full and material facts, witnesses and evidence before the court to enable the court to decide the case. So the public prosecutor has to be impartial and not biased in presenting the witnesses or evidence that has been gathered by the police in court. Then we have the role of the judge. The judge is a person in a court who has the authority to decide how criminals should be punished or to make legal decisions. He is like an umpire in a game and conducts the trial impartially and in an open court in public view. The judge hears all the witnesses and any other evidence presented by the prosecution and the defense. The judge decides whether the accused person is guilty or innocent on the basis of the evidence presented and in accordance with the laws of the land. If the accused is convicted, the judge pronounces the sentence. The judge may send the person to jail or impose a fine or both, depending on what the law prescribes in that particular case. So ultimately it is the judge who finally decides the case on the basis of the evidences presented in the court and the laws of the land. So now what is fair trial? Article 21 of the Constitution guarantees the right to life. It states that a person's life or liberty can be taken away only by following a reasonable and just legal procedure. A fair trial ensures that Article 21 of the Constitution is upheld. Like we saw in case of Shanti, where she was accused of stealing a gold chain from Mrs. Shinde's flat while she was working there, and she was sent to jail. Then she was so poor that she could not hire a lawyer for herself, so the magistrate appointed Advocate Kamla Roy as Shanti's defense lawyer at the government's expense. According to Article 22 of the Constitution, every person has a fundamental right to be defended by a lawyer. Article 39A of the Constitution places a duty upon the state to provide a lawyer to any citizen who is unable to engage one due to poverty or any other disability. So this is given on page number 68 of your book. Please underline these. Then firstly, Shanti was given a copy of the charge sheet and all other evidence that the prosecution presented against her. Shanti was charged with the offense of theft that was defined as a crime in the law. In the charge sheet it was there. The trial was held in an open court in public view. Her brother Sushil could attend the court hearings. The trial was held in the presence of the accused. Shanti was defended by a lawyer. Shanti's lawyer, Advocate Roy, was given an opportunity to cross-examine all the prosecution witnesses, and in the end, Advocate Roy proved that Shanti was innocent and that she should be acquitted. So finally, the judge decided in favor of Shanti, and she was acquitted of the charge of theft, and the police handed over rupees 10,000 that had been found from her bag, that was given back to Shanti. So this is called fair trial. And from the above incident, we can see that the four key players in the criminal justice system were the police, the public prosecutor, the defense lawyer, and the judge. So all had different roles to play. So in this case, although the police had filed a case of theft against Shanti, the judge assumed her to be innocent. It was the responsibility of the prosecution to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Shanti was guilty, and in this case, the prosecution failed to do so. The judge also did not jump to the conclusion that Shanti was the thief just because she was a poor maidservant. Instead, the judge remained impartial, and since the evidence showed that some young men had stolen, so Shanti was acquitted. And in Shanti's case, we can say that justice was finally done to her because she was given a fair trial. The essential elements of the fair trial are: the accused person should be given a copy of the charge sheet and all other evidences that the prosecution presented against him or her. The trial should be in an open court in public view. The accused person should be provided a lawyer. The defense lawyer should be given an opportunity to cross-examine all the prosecution witnesses. The defense lawyer should be given an opportunity to present witnesses in the defense of the accused person. And the Constitution and the law both state that all of the persons, like the police, the public prosecutor, the judge, should carry out their roles in a proper manner. Our Constitution ensures that every citizen, irrespective of his or her class, caste, gender, religion, and ideological backgrounds, gets a fair trial when accused. The rule of law, which says that everyone is equal before law, would not make much sense if every citizen were not guaranteed a fair trial by the Constitution. So with this we come to the end of the chapter. Here are some questions which you need to answer in your copies. What do you understand by fair trial? Write the essential elements of a fair trial. When does the role of public prosecutor begin? On what basis the judge decides whether the accused person is guilty or innocent? Please read the chapter thoroughly for understanding it better. Thank you, children.